afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Live at 4:05. A little technical issues, but I think we got things straightened out. So we had a busy show for you today.
Yes, we do.
Here's what's making news on this Wednesday. Governor Tony Evers has activated a field hospital as COVID-19 hospitalizations surge in Dane County and across the state.
Madison City Council has new rules for Madison Police's use of a military surplus program, what the department can and can no longer use.
And despite President Trump's positive COVID-19 test last week, Vice President Mike Pence and Vice President nominee Kamala Harris will debate tonight in the only vice presidential debate. Let's take a look outside. A beautiful, beautiful October day today. The farmers are busy, I'll tell you that. Lovely days of October, the weather words, and Chris Reese is in the backyard. Lovely perfectly describes it.
Yeah, we do not get weather this awesome in October often, so soak that up because we know how the end of the month into November oftentimes tends to go. But it is a beautiful day. Sunshine, that's abundant. Temperatures are into the low 70s pretty much area-wide. You've got a couple of spots that are still into the upper 60s, but with all that sunshine, we managed to warm up. That means Doppler track is remaining free of any kind of shower or thunderstorm activity. Look for the rest of the evening to remain quite pleasant for us. Temperatures cooling down into the 50s as we move into the overnight hours and eventually the 40s. But folks, I believe you'll like the temperature trend as we look at that extended forecast. Guys?
All right, Chris, thank you. First at 4, the state is stepping up to help our stressed healthcare system.
The governor announced the opening of a field hospital at the state fairgrounds to deal with COVID-19. Eric Franke tells us more. Eric?
Mark and Susan, the governor says it's a day he never wanted to see come. They had this field hospital ready at State Fair Park in West Dallas back in April. They never needed it then, but now, next week, the 530 beds will be available. Nearly 300 of those beds will have inline oxygen capability. Currently, only 16% of the nearly 12,000 hospital beds statewide are available. The number of hospitalized COVID-19 patients in the state has climbed to more than 850, basically tripling in a month, with many more tests pending.
Patients will be admitted to this facility in coordination with our healthcare providers. And the facility's patients will largely be individuals who are transitioning out of the hospitals and require less medical care.
Yeah, so this hospital was built by the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers back in April, and they will open it 1 week from today. And in Dane County, Alliant Energy Center, you may recall, has also been talked about as a field hospital if needed. State health officials were asked about that today. They say the facility here isn't quite as far along and would require a little more work to get up and running, but they will continue to monitor the situation with local health officials. Susan?
Eric, thank you. 17 more people have died from COVID-19 in Wisconsin. Health officials also reported another 2,100 who have tested positive for the virus. Hospitalization continues to rise in the state. Dane County officials reported an all-time high of 54 patients, and 13 of those are receiving care in the ICU. More than 3,100 Americans have died of COVID since President Trump revealed his positive test 5 days ago. Kara Goucher is a 2-time Olympian and silver medal-winning long-distance runner. Her grandfather, 96-year-old Calvin Hayworth, died yesterday from complications of the virus. Kara says she is frustrated that President Trump is still downplaying the virus after his hospital stay.
I'm glad that he was treated and that he is beating COVID, but for so many people, hundreds of thousands of people in this country, that's not the case. And the pain is very, very real.
When I saw him get in a car with the Secret Service agents and drive around and wave to everybody, and I thought, the people in the car have families. The people who tend to him, they have families. And now they're exposed to a virus they're going to take home with them.
Karen Aguirre lost her cousin, 65-year-old Sandy, and Sandy's 66-year-old husband, Renee, to the virus late last month. They died 3 days apart. Aguirre says the president's behavior upset her, and she is asking him to show more compassion. In other news, Madison Police and the City Council reached what both feel is a compromise to keep military-grade equipment off the city streets.
The City Council can now tell MPD what it can and cannot get through a surplus program. Our Adam Duxter is live downtown to explain. Adam?
Well, it's known as the 1033 program, and over the summer, several Madison alders were in favor of cutting off MPD from being able to use it at all. But last night, they set up limitations instead. Now, over the years, MPD has used 1033 to get things like flashlights, masks, and cold weather gear from the U.S. government, only having to pay for the shipping. Now, Interim Chief Vic Wall says the city saved taxpayers hundreds of thousands of dollars by doing this. Last night's ordinance won't change that. Instead, it specifies MPD can't use it to get things like tear gas or bayonets. And Wall says he's okay with that.
I think it was a positive back and forth and a positive sort of, communication and sort of discussion. I'm comfortable with what the final product was, and I think it strikes a good balance.
The new ordinance also restricts the value of military items MPD wants to bring in. Anything valued at over $50,000 would need council approval. Also, now MPD will submit to the city council everything they've brought in through the 1033 program twice a year, and the city council will have final say over whether those items stay or go back. Now, the alder behind this plan says it's a good step towards public safety as well as community control over police. You'll hear from him tonight at 6.
Adam Duxter live downtown. Adam, thank you. Governor Tony Evers has called up the National Guard ahead of an expected announcement about whether a Wauwatosa police officer will face charges in the fatal shooting of a black teenager in February. Evers said he activated the Guard to protect the public and infrastructure. The Milwaukee County District Attorney is expected to make an announcement later today on whether Officer Joseph Mensah will be charged with shooting 17-year-old Alvin Cole to death outside of a mall.
Jacob Blake has left the hospital and is now in a spinal injury rehab center in Chicago. That's according to Blake's attorney, Patrick Cafferty. A Kenosha, Wisconsin police officer shot Blake 7 times in August. His family said at the time that Blake was paralyzed from the waist down. Blake's attorney did not say when his client was moved from the hospital in Wisconsin or how long he would be at the rehab center. No one has been charged in the shooting. It is still under investigation. Well, the stage is set and the stakes are high for tonight's vice presidential debate at the University of Utah, with both presidential candidates being the oldest in history. Natalie Brand reports from Salt Lake City, where Vice President Mike Pence and Senator Kamala Harris will meet in just a matter of hours for their one and only debate.
The vice presidential candidates will face off separated by new safety precautions, including plexiglass and increased social distancing. Their desks positioned more than 12 feet apart. The debate commission also says guests without masks will be escorted out of the hall, something it did not fully enforce for the first presidential debate.
There is no playbook for it.
Jason Perry of the University of Utah says tonight takes on new significance with uncertainty surrounding the next presidential debate. President Trump's diagnosis and the White House outbreak will bring the coronavirus into even sharper focus on stage.
The tentacles from it go to every segment of our country, right down to the economy itself. The path forward is unclear, made even less clear by what's happened over this past week, and I think that is going to be a center point of this debate.
Senator Kamala Harris is expected to prosecute the Trump administration's pandemic response, while Vice President Mike Pence is expected to defend his leadership of the president's coronavirus task force. Utah polling shows COVID-19 and the economic fallout remain top issues for voters here. Tanisa Wright is a registered Republican, but says she's undecided.
I would like to hear more about their policies, about what they're going to do.
Clayton Thomas says he's also undecided after voting for President Trump in 2016. He hopes tonight's tone is an improvement over last week's interruptions and attacks.
Mr. President, I'm the moderator of this debate, and I would like you to let me ask my question.
I think being able to actually have the candidates be civil in their actions as well as their words.
Both Harris and Pence are known as skilled debaters, and political analysts expect to see the candidates sharp and focused. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Salt Lake City.
The vice presidential debate starts tonight at 8 p.m. and you can see it right here on News 3 Now and CBS. There are 2 more presidential debates scheduled. The next one is next Thursday night in Miami.
President Trump's doctors are monitoring his progress, and officials say he is still planning to address the nation soon. The president is also walking back his position on coronavirus financial relief negotiations with less than a month until Election Day. The president has returned to work in the Oval Office. Isolation carts with personal protective equipment have been set up for White House staff. President Trump has been isolating and receiving COVID treatments in the White House residence since Monday. His doctors released a memo stating that the president's labs are showing detectable levels of antibodies, and also he has been symptom-free for the past 24 hours.
White House and the West Wing are deep cleaned on a regular basis, so there's a way for him to work out of a variety of rooms safely when he's ready to do that.
Meanwhile, after halting coronavirus bill talks, the president is now urging Congress to pass standalone bills for $1,200 stimulus checks and to receive funding for the airline industry and small businesses. The president's senior advisor, Stephen Miller, is among the latest to test positive for COVID-19. Miller is one of several to test positive after attending presidential debate prep sessions.
Well, there are a lot of questions about the elections this year, so we're asking your questions to election officials. News 3 Now this morning's Leah Lynchide talked to Dane County Clerk Scott McDonald about this year's November election and the influx of absentee ballots expected.
The courts seem to still be deciding when your ballot needs to be at your clerk's office. It's gone back and forth. Do you anticipate that is going to change again before Election Day? And what's your guidance to voters on that?
I think all voters should assume that if the ballot arrives after Election Day, it won't be counted. It goes back to what I mentioned earlier, get your ballot back in as soon as you can.
So the city of Madison held an event recently across 200 different parks. They were collecting absentee ballots. I think they got something like 10,000 absentee ballots.
Right.
Republican leaders, via their lawyers, sent a letter questioning the legality of that event.
Sure.
Do you expect those ballots to be challenged in court?
I don't, because there's no provision in law to challenge a ballot based on how they're received. There's very specific language in the statutes about how you can challenge someone's ballot. I mean, really, there's nothing more sacred than your vote. And so the things you can challenge it on are really you're not who you say you are, and you don't live where you say you are. How you got it to the clerk's office is not on that list.
We're expecting an unprecedented number of absentee ballots this year, of course. Do you have faith that clerk's offices, your clerk's office and others, can handle that influx?
We can definitely handle it. It'll be accurate. The only thing that will change is it'll take a little bit longer than normal. Election night might last till 2 or 3 a.m., where maybe in previous years, 10 o'clock news. So I think everyone should just expect that things are going to take a little bit longer than normal. There'll be places around the state where maybe it's even the next morning. In April, we had a whole extra week, and it worked out fine. So I think the important thing is that we're careful and accurate, and I think we can all wait a few hours to get our results.
Should voters have faith in the absentee voting process? Should they believe that their absentee ballot will be counted?
They should. It's been going on for 100 years. It's how military voters vote. There are a lot of strict laws around that because we want to protect overseas and military voters. So this is not a new thing. There's just more of them.
And we will have more from the county clerk tonight on News 3 Now at 5. And still to come at 4, if you're looking for some safe fun to have with your kids, we have a great suggestion for you.
Old World, Wisconsin in Eagle is hosting a fall family fun drive. We'll find out all about it when Live at 4 continues. We'll be right back.
You're watching News 3 Now, live at 4.
I wanted my hepatitis C gone.
I put off treating mine.
Epclusa treats all main types of chronic hep C. Whatever your type, Epclusa could be your kind of cure.
I just found out about mine.
I knew for years. Epclusa has a 98% overall cure rate.
I had no symptoms of hepatitis C.
Mine caused liver damage.
Epclusa is only one pill, once a day, taken with or without food for 12 weeks. Before starting Epclusa, your doctor will test if you have had hepatitis B, which may flare up and could cause serious liver problems during and after treatment. Tell your doctor if you have had hepatitis B, other liver or kidney problems, HIV or other medical conditions, and all medicines you take, including herbal supplements. Taking amiodarone with Epclusa may cause a serious slowing of your heart rate. Common side effects include headache and tiredness. Ask your doctor today if Epclusa is your kind of cure.
The pandemic is spreading, and people with pre-existing health conditions are most at risk. But Donald Trump is still trying to repeal protections for people with pre-existing conditions. Joe Biden took on the insurance companies and forced them to cover pre-existing conditions. As president, he'll give Americans the choice to buy public health insurance like Medicare and bring down costs by negotiating with hospitals and drug companies. Joe has a plan. FFPAC's responsible for the content of this ad.
Knoll Manor Retirement Living in Verona provides extraordinary supportive living with compassion and grace. We offer independent living, assisted living, and closer care living options. We understand that staying social is important to everyone's well-being. That's why Knoll Manor provides engaging activities and ways to stay active and connect with others. There's yoga, bingo, outdoor music, and so much more, all while keeping your health and safety in mind. Knoll Manor Living. Welcome home. Contact us today to set up your virtual tour.
The president's reversal on stimulus negotiations sent stocks soaring. The Dow Industrials gained 530 points, closing at 28,303. The NASDAQ added 210. The S&P 500 was up 58. Well, the weather is perfect this month to throw the kids in the car and take a scenic drive to Old World, Wisconsin.
Old World, Wisconsin is an open-air museum in Eagle in Waukesha County. It depicts housing and daily life of the settlers in 19th century Wisconsin.
On select dates this month, Old World, Wisconsin is offering a fall family fun drive to experience the site in a brand new way. Anna Schwager is the Assistant Director of Guest Experience at Old World, Wisconsin. Welcome to Live at 4.
Hi, Anna. Good to see you.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me.
So what can people all see at Old World, Wisconsin? Just give us a little verbal tour.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's gorgeous, first of all, especially this time of year. Everybody has their favorite season. This is mine. We're a big site. It's 600 acres settled in the Kettle Moraine State Forest. And here you can experience the landscapes, the architecture of people who came to call Wisconsin home in the 19th and 20th centuries. So it's just really beautiful through the forest, hills, beautiful kettle ponds, and you feel really transported, like you're traveling back in time.
And this is a fun way to see it because people will stay in their cars, right? And it takes about 45 minutes, and you take people on a tour all through the grounds.
Yeah, so guests arrive, and we've got a set path, and it'll be a mix of some of your favorite places. You've come and spent time with us before previous seasons, so you'll see your favorite places, but also everything is a little bit different this year with COVID, and so we're really trying to take those new ways of working and give you guys something new. So you'll get to find the scenes, spaces that have never been open to the public before, and so you'll have this route that you'll drive. It takes about 45 minutes around the site, seeing those sites, up close encounters with our animals, different spaces. Our staff will be there, and you'll get to see the site in a brand new way.
And the site is run by the Wisconsin Historical Society, so it's pretty accurate.
It is, yeah. It's a really important piece of this, and accuracy is important, but also story and experience, right? So it's all about these memories of all of these people who've come to call Wisconsin home, but your family as well. When you come out and spend a day with us, your story, your memories that you're going to create in this new way, and that's really important for us to serve our communities and community support. So we've got great sponsorship for this event through the Old World Foundation, Waterstone Bank, and they want to make sure that stories and accuracy and community and connection to history are there for everybody.
And I understand you're even offering for people who pre-register a snack to have in the car.
Absolutely. It's not fall without snacks and cider donuts specifically. Let's be clear. So we have everybody needs to pre-register for the event. So you've got timed entry, but then you can add on what we're calling our fall flavor sampler, which it's a bag of delicious stuff. So you've got cheeses and meats and apples and ciders, cider donuts, and my personal favorite, the chocolate chip pumpkin cookies. So you can have all the flavors as you drive around the site.
Now it's this weekend and next weekend, right?
Yeah, it's October 10th and 11th.
Oh, I think
it's looking perfect for this weekend. And then you can book in advance as well. So if you know you can't come till the 18th, that's great. Let us know, and we'll schedule you in for a time that works for you. You can order those samplers and just check that off your list. Have your plan made.
Absolutely. Sounds like a great time. Anna, thanks for being with us today.
Thanks so much.
All right, to register, call Old World Wisconsin at 262-594-6311.
We have the website up there as well. We'll put that on Channel 3000 as well. Anna, thank you. So good to see you.
All right, still to come at 4, it's called election stress disorder, and you or someone you know may have it.
We'll find out what this disorder is and what you can do about it coming up after Chris's First Warn forecast.
Hey, Madison voters, don't let the pandemic suppress your vote. Create your safe voting plan now. You have options. Visit cityofmadison.com/clerk to create your safe voting plan today. Brought to you by the Madison City Clerk's Office.
Our seniors that are being hit the hardest, they're frightened. And I want them to know that their health and safety will be my responsibility if I'm your president. And I'll have from day one, ready to go, the best medical experts and scientists to advise on our response. And I will not abandon you. It's a simple proposition, folks. We're all in this together. We got to fight this together. We'll emerge from this stronger because we did it together. I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
Hello. I wish to inquire about your $500 off deal. Is there anything hidden I should be aware of?
No, sir.
No hidden plan requirements?
You choose your plan.
No hidden phone trade-ins?
Keep your phone.
No hidden activation fees or other trickery where video recorded evidence would be beneficial?
None.
Interesting.
Is that a camera?
What?
Get $500 off the latest phones with no hidden requirements. U.S. Cellular. Upgrade to Fair.
You want to vote. It's important. You have strong reasons and you want to voice your opinion. But there are obstacles. Registering, the right ID, getting your ballot, and making it count. Start by calling the Voter Helpline, 608-285-2141 for help getting the obstacles out of your way. Or text Help Me Vote. It's free, it's not affiliated with any party, and you will be heard. Call today and be heard. Speak up and vote.
A service of the Voter ID Coalition with support from Dane County.
Joint pain, swelling, tenderness.
My psoriasis. Cosentyx works on all of this.
Cosentyx treats the multiple symptoms of psoriatic arthritis to help you look and feel better. Don't use if you're allergic to Cosentyx. Before starting, get checked for tuberculosis. An increased risk of infections and lowered ability to fight them may occur. Tell your doctor about an infection or symptoms. If your inflammatory bowel disease symptoms develop or worsen, or if you've had a vaccine or plan to, serious allergic reactions may occur.
Watch me.
Learn more at Cosentyx.com.
Hey, Madison voters, don't let the pandemic suppress your vote. Create your safe voting plan now. You have options. Visit cityofmadison.com/clerk to create your safe voting plan today. Brought to you by the Madison City Clerk's Office.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Well, take a look at this. Pet lovers in Manila received blessings for their animals via a drive-through ceremony to celebrate the Feast of St. Francis, the patron saint of animals. A row of vehicles lined up outside a mall in Manila as pet owners patiently waited for their turn to drive forward to have a priest sprinkle holy water on their mostly canine companions. The drive-through pet blessing was organized to ensure that pet owners just stay in their cars to observe physical distancing in public places during the pandemic.
Oh, what a sweet idea.
Yeah, some cute little pups there.
Yeah.
Birds and all sorts of stuff. I'm not sure the dogs care for getting sprinkled with water much, but they're blessed. And we all are blessed with this weather.
Yeah, this weather is absolutely fantastic. I've said it multiple times. I will say it again. It's not every October that we get a stretch of weather like what we are about to jump into. That full forecast coming up.
We believe every baby deserves a healthy start. Yet many new parents in our community are struggling to afford the basic necessities. You can help change that.
October 8th through 11th, please donate to the News 3 Now Community Baby Shower. Drop off infant care items safely at these no-contact drive-through sites throughout Madison. Visit Channel 3000 for complete details.
News 3 Now Community Baby Shower, sponsored by Viridian Homes and Dave Jones Inc.
Who is USAA made for? It's made for this guy, a veteran who honorably served. And it's made for her. She's serving now. We made it for all branches and all ranks, whether they served one tour or made a career of it. We also made USAA for military spouses and their kids. USAA is easy to work with and can save you money on auto, home, and renter's insurance. Become a member today. Get an insurance quote at usaa.com/quote. USAA. What you're made of, we're made for.
These are real people, not actors, who've got their eczema under control. With less eczema, you can show more skin. So roll up those sleeves and help heal your skin from within with Dupixent. Dupixent is the first treatment of its kind that continuously treats moderate to severe eczema or atopic dermatitis, even between flare-ups. Dupixent is a biologic and not a cream or steroid. Many people taking Dupixent saw clear or almost clear skin and had significantly less itch. Don't use if you're allergic to Dupixent. Serious allergic reactions can occur, including anaphylaxis, which is severe. Tell your doctor about new or worsening eye problems, such as eye pain or vision changes, or a parasitic infection. If you take asthma medicines, don't change or stop them without talking to your doctor. So help heal your skin from within and talk to your eczema specialist about Dupixent. If your financial situation has changed, we may be able to help.
A smile has the power to get you feeling all right. At Aspen Dental, we're making every day a little brighter with our Smile Wide, Smile Safe promise. We've got you covered in every way, giving deep cleaning a whole new meaning. And if you don't have insurance, we'll give you an extra safety net too, with a free new patient exam and x-rays. At Aspen Dental, we're making it all right to feel safe and get smiling. We promise. Call 1-800-ASPEN-DENTAL.
Tonight at 5, Governor Evers has authorized the Wisconsin National Guard to assist in Wauwatosa. We'll tell you why. That's ahead tonight at 5.
Well, temperatures will be a little colder tonight. Tomorrow will be sunny and pleasant. Friday will be partly sunny, windy, and very mild for October. My first warn forecast at 5.
And ahead tonight at 6, we'll hear from public health officials about why they're seeing such long lines for COVID-19 tests at the Alliant Energy Center. That's tonight. Join us for News 3 Now at 6.
Happy Wednesday, folks. We're at the middle of the week. The fall color really starting to pop throughout south central Wisconsin, and the sunshine in the sky, that is going to be sticking around, along with temperatures that are certainly going to be much warmer than what they typically would be at for this time of the year. And when it comes to rain chances, we've got a couple in the forecast, but they are all minimal. There are very few rain chances out there. Here's the latest fall color report, by the way. Still peaking throughout the North Woods, but some of those leaves are now past peak. We're going to watch this slowly begin to work its way towards central and southern Wisconsin as we go through the coming days. And again, you just saw what we were able to look at on camera. The sunshine, though, that's brought to us by high pressure that's in control. Oddly enough, a cold front moved through yesterday, even though temperatures were into the low 70s for those highs today. But with that high pressure in control, that means there's no rain that we're talking about over just the state of Wisconsin as a whole, including right here in south central Wisconsin too. That means we remain clear as we go through the rest of the overnight hours. Temperatures are likely going to be dropping down into the 40s as a result of that. Overnight tonight, 46 for your low. Into tomorrow, we'll see our temperatures into the upper 60s. We're going to be a couple degrees cooler because a cold front came through, but overall it's still going to be very comfortable out there. 50s for your overnight lows. We begin to move into your Friday, and then by Friday we'll be a couple degrees warmer into the low 70s by the time we talk about the afternoon highs. We get even warmer though into the weekend. Here's why. That ridge of warmth that's been developing out west, that moves our direction Sunday and Monday. Then we get the cold front that works its way on in here into early next week. It's that cold front that's going to be bringing with it some chances to rain. Here's Future Track just showing you the entire country. This, by the way, is Hurricane Delta, which could be a major landfalling hurricane somewhere along the Gulf Coast by the end of the week. Delta's moisture comes northward. We're still dry by the time we get you towards Sunday, but into Monday, there's the next cold front developing towards the north and west. That means rain chances develop Monday afternoon. They will likely linger into early Tuesday before we begin to clear things right on out. That extended forecast will show you the temperature drop that comes behind that front. 70s leading up to Monday, upper 70s. On Friday, by the way, 64 for your Tuesday, then it's 50s from Wednesday and into next weekend. So this is the stretch, this next couple of days. Soak that in. A fantastic weekend before rain chances and cooler weather come our way.
All right, get outside, just be safe. Thank you, Chris. With just weeks to go before the election, chances are you or someone you know is feeling stressed out or anxious about the results.
Michael George explains that election stress disorder is a real thing and what you can do about it.
And that's
Does just watching this stress you out? Are you checking social media a little too much? Well, you're not alone. Marsha Palanchi says she's been feeling election anxiety, too.
I was keeping pretty zen about the whole situation until I watched the debates, and then that went out the window, and I have been incredibly stressed.
I'm getting a lot of emergency calls on resentment and anger.
Couples therapist Dr. Stephen Stosny says stress over the election is causing many Americans to fight with their spouses, friends, and coworkers. During the 2016 election, he coined a term for it, election stress disorder. And he says this year, the anxiety is even worse.
Anxiety makes you feel powerless, and resentment or anger makes you feel temporarily more empowered.
And we often turn that resentment and anger on the people closest to us. Many we spoke with say they can't help but get caught in political fights.
I try to avoid it, but sometimes you have to, respond to what they're saying.
Election's only a month away, so it's going to get more and more and more intense.
Dr. Stosny says you can reduce your anxiety with exercise, writing your feelings down, or do what Marsha Palanchi does. Avoid social media and resist the urge to argue with others.
I'm very careful not to bring up politics. Otherwise, that would be the end of the friendship. It would just be too volatile.
And if you do find yourself in an argument, try and keep it respectful. It's healthier for you and your relationships. Michael George, CBS News, New York.
So that's what it is.
And right, and experts say the extended COVID lockdowns, of course, greatly add to our stress. The election just amplifies it even further.
Ahead at 4, Marquette Law School poll director Charles Franklin will join us.
And then coming up tonight at 5, long lines have been reported at the Alliant Energy Testing Center. But what is causing them? We'll tell you what's causing all those delays coming up tonight at 5.
We believe every baby deserves a healthy start. Yet many new parents in our community are struggling to afford the basic necessities. You can help change that.
October 8th through 11th, please donate to the News 3 Now Community Baby Shower. Drop off infant care items safely at these no-contact drive-through sites throughout Madison. Visit Channel 3000 for complete details. News 3 Now Community Baby Shower, sponsored by Viridian Homes and Dave Jones Inc.
Where can a healthier heart lead you? For people with heart failure taking Entresto, it may lead to a world of possibilities. Entresto is a heart failure medicine prescribed by most cardiologists. It was proven superior at helping people stay alive and out of the hospital. Heart failure can change the structure of your heart, so it may not work as well. Entresto helps improve your heart's ability to pump blood to the body. And with a healthier heart, there's no telling where life may take you. Don't take Entresto if pregnant. It can cause harm or death to an unborn baby. Don't take Entresto with an ACE inhibitor or aliskiren, or if you've had angioedema with an ACE or ARB. The most serious side effects are angioedema, low blood pressure, kidney problems, or high blood potassium. Ask your doctor about Entresto for heart failure. And trust your heart to Entresto.
Joe Biden isn't an epidemiologist. He's not an economist or military general.
But what he is the kind of leader who listens to the experts and a candidate who has earned their support. And what he'll be is a president who leads us out of this crisis and a commander-in-chief who respects those who have served. Because Joe Biden knows this moment is not about him, but about what we can do together. FFPAC is responsible for the content of this ad.
Joe Biden will make health care affordable. His plan gives a tax credit to help working families pay insurance premiums, lowers prescription costs by 60%, and protects coverage for pre-existing conditions, no matter what. He'll pay for it by getting rid of Donald Trump's tax cuts for the super rich, because Joe knows our economy's strength doesn't come from the top. It comes from working families, and that's who he's fighting for every day.
I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
Wild thing.
You know what I think? I think you owe us $48.50. Wild thing.
If you ride, you get it. Geico Motorcycle. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
Oh boy, what a day this afternoon. It feels a little touch of summertime out there, doesn't it?
It's kind of weird with the leaves falling and the heat.
Yeah, but savor it. This is a great, great week.
I love October.
I do too. Yeah, it's more beautiful than ever this year too. Cosmetic companies are seeing a shift in the products that women are wearing and buying.
A June report from the marketing research firm Poshly found 60% of beauty shoppers wore lipstick most of the time before the pandemic. This summer, that number fell to 23%. Markel Giovanti is creative director for Bovanti Cosmetics, which has seen lip product sales drop by nearly 50%, but sales for some eye products are up 96%. With Bovanti's East Coast makeup studio reopened, clients booked appointments to get just their eyes made up.
You look someone in the eye, you can really tell that who that person is, how that person is feeling, how they're doing.
In the Poshly survey, 80% of makeup consumers say that they are focused on a low-maintenance beauty routine. I guess if your mouth's covered up, you don't need lipsticks.
That's one perk of the mask, right? 2 Tennessee men are trying to bring the country together on 4 wheels.
For 6.5 weeks, they cycled nearly 3,000 miles from coast to coast, hashing out some of their differences along the way. The 2 Knoxville, Tennessee men became fast friends after meeting at a New Year's Eve party in 2015. They've since embarked on a cross-country journey together. Not once, not twice, but 3 times. But 2020's ride carries even greater meaning for the duo.
The Unity Ride kind of came out of that concept of, 2 people, different backgrounds, different skin color, different political leanings. Just set a common goal, a lot could be accomplished.
So, Jonathan, what do you talk about when you're on these long rides together?
A little bit of everything. We do get into some very serious, heated conversations about a lot of things.
The pair has received positive responses to their ride, and they hope to keep it going with another trip next year.
That's great.
It is great. A group of black former FBI agents is speaking out about a lack of diversity at the country's premier law enforcement agency.
The CBS News investigative unit spent several months speaking with dozens of current and former black FBI agents who described discrimination and anger that has deepened in recent months. Jeff Pegues sat down with 4 retired agents who are calling for change.
The people that you have here today, we've given more than half of our professional life in the service of the FBI.
Mike Mason retired from the FBI as an executive assistant director, the highest rank a black agent has ever achieved. After decades as special agents, Rhonda Glover-Reese.
I had a 34-year career. It was awesome. But there needs to be change.
Deborah Evans-Smith.
What we've done in the past really is not working.
And Aaron LaSure left the FBI in the last 2 years, all on their own terms.
I was in a class of 38, and I was the only African American. And you have to realize, in my career, everywhere I went, I was the only one.
They are all members of a group called the Mirror Project. And what they seek to change is a number at the Bureau that has remained virtually the same for decades. Of the 13,000 FBI special agents around the world, only 4% are black.
You have to be twice as good to get just as far as someone else.
In addition to the members of the Mirror Project, CBS News spoke with more than 24 current and former black agents, all of whom described facing some sort of racial discrimination while working inside the FBI.
Do we bump up against bias, racism? Absolutely.
I've experienced, invisibility. When you talk about being a black female in the FBI, sometimes you're not even seen.
These former agents told us that managers inside the FBI who are mostly white tend to only promote individuals who look like themselves.
You start to wonder, is it because I'm black?
Today, of the agents running the FBI's 56 field offices across the country, only 3 are black.
Diversity amongst more than gender is also important.
FBI recruiting videos give the appearance of a bureau made up of a diverse talent pool. But the agents we spoke with say that is not what the FBI is like at all.
It is not solely the responsibility of a minority to bring minorities into the FBI. It's everyone's issue.
They believe it matters now more than ever because the FBI is investigating potential civil rights violations in the police killings of George Floyd in Minneapolis,
I cannot breathe.
Breonna Taylor in Louisville, and the 7 shots fired into the back of Jacob Blake in Kenosha, Wisconsin.
As the FBI, we are the lead agency to protect civil rights.
The Bureau declined our repeated requests for an interview. However, officials did send us a statement in which they described diversity as a, quote, core value. An official also told us that Director Wray plans on engaging members of the Mirror Project. Jeff Begay, CBS News, Washington.
Members of the Mirror Project sent a letter to Director Wray last month calling for the FBI to be held accountable for its hiring and promotions.
Well, still to come at 4, as we mentioned earlier, the one and only vice presidential debate is tonight.
The director of the Marquette Law School poll, Charles Franklin, will tell us what to look for. Plus, he has results of his latest poll just released today. That's when Live at 4 continues.
Through Monday at Ashley Home Store. Pay just $1 down for complete rooms full of furniture. Interest-free for 5 years. Seriously, just $1 required to check out. Plus, save up to 50% off clearance items while they last. Only at Ashley Home Store. This is home.
It's no secret, Robertson is Wisconsin's aesthetic leader. But with results this natural, patients can keep it a secret if they want. Our secret to reducing stubborn body fat? Cool Sculpting. Book a free consultation to learn how Cool Sculpting is different at Robertson.
When Joe Biden wants an update on the virus, he calls on the nation's top health experts. Working together for all Americans is what Joe does. When writing his healthcare plan, Joe Biden worked with both doctors and patients to make healthcare affordable by lowering premiums, reducing drug costs, and protecting people with pre-existing conditions. Joe listened to both small business owners and workers to create his economic plan that cuts taxes for middle-class families, creates 18 million new jobs in his first term, and raises wages by as much as $15,000 a year. Joe Biden's plans will help working families immediately by making the super rich finally pay their fair share. For Joe, it's never been about ego. It's always been about the work he can do for working families. It's what he's always done. Joe Biden brings everyone to the table and gets it done.
I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
Through Monday at Ashley Home Store. Pay just $1 down for the best sleep of your life. You pay just $1 at checkout for any mattress in our lineup. Seriously. Plus, savings up to 55% off. And no interest financing for up to 6 years. Only at Ashley Home Store. This is home.
Thursday morning, we'll be taking a closer look at the new statewide gathering limits that go into effect at 8 a.m.
And we'll be recapping the vice presidential debate between Mike Pence and Kamala Harris.
We'll see you from 4:30 to 7 on News 3 Now this morning.
As the election draws closer, you may be getting more campaign-related items in your mailbox and on your phone. What information of yours is out there for sale? And is there a way to stop unwanted mailings? Thursday on News 3 Now at 10.
Here's how traffic is shaping up for us on a Wednesday afternoon. So far, all is primarily good. Most of the Beltline is cruising along right around 60 miles per hour. But towards the east, just past John Nolan, you're going to run into at least a couple of issues. Your average speed from Verona Road to John Nolan is 41 miles per hour due to that. And then from John Nolan to the interstate, your average speed is 43. Guys?
Oh, my God. Look at that. There's your living room.
Oh, my God.
Gerald is seeing his apartment furnished for the first time via video conference from the hospital after struggling with homelessness. The Chicago veteran had finally secured an apartment, but quickly after needed medical care. Humble Design, a nonprofit organization, decided to surprise him with the furnishings.
Way to do something good.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's great.
Well, the new Marquette Law School poll is out, and it shows not a lot has changed for Wisconsin voters.
Despite President Trump's coronavirus diagnosis and the first presidential debate, the latest poll shows people are pretty set on who they're voting for.
Poll director Charles Franklin joins us now to break it down and look ahead to tonight's vice presidential debate. Charles, good to see you again.
Good to be with you.
Let's start out with the presidential numbers from your poll.
Yeah, not much change. A 1-point increase in Biden's lead to 5-point advantage for Biden. It was 4 points last month. If you go back to May, it's been 4, 6, 5, 4, and now 5 again. So really very little variation there. People are very strong in their views. This poll was done entirely after the first presidential debate. And by a 2-to-1 margin, people said Biden did best in that debate. 40% Biden, 20% for Trump. But 14% said they thought both had done badly, and another 21% said they hadn't paid much attention to it.
Now, was this taken after President Trump revealed his COVID-19 positive test?
Just over half of the survey was before and just less than half after, so we actually get a nice comparison there. But we didn't see much change there either. Given the sample sizes, there's a small shift, 2 or 3 points on favorability and job approval, but that's inside the margin of error when you split the sample up like that. So I don't see much movement. Also, we were doing these interviews on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday when this was still very much a developing story. 37% said, for example, that they weren't sure how serious the president's illness was during the time we were doing the interviews. And, of course, the other positive cases that have been coming out of the White House that we've been learning about and how much that infection is spread through the White House, those things were also not really there at the time we were doing the interviews. So watch for national polling later this week and next week, and Wisconsin polling coming up as well, to see whether we pick up more of an effect of his illness and the other ramifications after people have had time to hear more about it.
You also asked about in-person rallies. Should they stop?
Here, a majority said they should stop for both candidates. 52% said stop. 37% said they're safe and should continue. But speaking of debates, it's the reverse on debates. 67% said the debate should go ahead. Only 23% thought they should be canceled.
Oh, that's interesting.
It is interesting.
Yeah.
Speaking of debates, the vice presidential debate, the one and only, is tonight. What do both candidates have to do?
Well, I think it's always a matter of appear presidential enough to help people be comfortable with them should they have to step into the role. We asked about that in the 3 nights of interviews after the president's diagnosis, and they were a little bit better for Vice President Pence. 33% were very confident he could assume the duties of president. 21% were not at all confident. And for Senator Harris, 25% very confident, but 29% not at all confident. Also, a few more lacked an opinion of Harris compared to Pence. We also asked favorability to both candidates, and there they were pretty evenly matched. Pence had a 41-42 favorable-unfavorable rating, and Harris a 37-40. So both of them within 2 or 3 points of being even on favorability.
So Wisconsin most definitely still a swing state.
Yes, I think so. Nothing changes, as they say. Really, people are very firmly fixed. Over 35% have a strongly favorable view or strongly approve of President Trump's handling of his job. And 45 to 48% strongly disapprove. Those are the anchors. And then the folks in the middle tend to go with who they somewhat approve or somewhat disapprove of. Only about 8 to 10% still undecided at this point.
Is 8 to 10% undecided?
Well, it's 4% for Jorgensen, the Libertarian, and another 6% undecided. But when you look at those folks, they don't approve of the president's job, but they also don't particularly like Joe Biden, and they're overwhelmingly independents that don't feel like they're closer to either party. Sounds like the people you'd expect to be undecided at this point.
Absolutely. Well, 3 weeks away. We're getting there. And then you have one more poll before we all go to vote.
That's right. We'll be back the week before the election with a last look.
All right. We'll see you then, if not before.
We're looking forward to it. Charles, thank you so much.
Thank
Good to
you.
see you.
Let's go to Chris now with a final look at your forecast.
Sunshine sticks around as we move into tomorrow. Temperatures get a lot warmer by Friday as well. That's where we're in the upper 70s, close to the 80-degree mark. But the sunshine in the 70s sticks around into the weekend. Rain chances come our direction early next week.
All right, Chris, thank you. And tomorrow here on Live at 4, let's see here. Our vegan chef stops by with some recipes you might want to try.
And Dr. Zorba Pastor will be here as well. We'll talk about all the latest COVID-19 related headlines. And he'll be taking your calls as well. That's coming up tomorrow on Live at 4.